Ce podcast est préparé et présenté par Emina Osleti. If we are an aggregation of our consciousness and memories, what is death? When death happens, what happens? Not physically, but we're talking about the you that you defined right now.
Your death or the death of people around you?
No, your death. We're always talking about you.
Well, that depends on your faith and your beliefs. People think different things, like what happened when you die, right?
What do you think happens when you die?
I'm pretty much religious when it comes to the key things in life, and so I follow the religious narratives of heaven and hell, and that you're either collectively you've either been a good person or a shitty person, and then you're rewarded or you're punished by your collective actions and the way you've treated people and the way you've conducted yourself, and if you've been honest or if you have been dishonest, and that's what I think. But people think very, very different things.
Yeah.
Some people think you is over when you die and then nothing happens. Some people believe in heaven and hell. Some people believe in different versions of the afterlife. And
yeah, exactly. That's what I believe, is that when we die is like similar to before you were born. Nothing. Neon. Because I mean, we are not. What is this? Nombril. We are not. No. I was trying to translate a French thing to English. Like, we are not the belly button of the world.
we're not the center of the universe.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they mean with that.
It's in French. That's why I don't speak French. The center of the universe translates to the belly button of the earth.
Yes. So I think we are like there's a certain genealogistic may he changed like the name of Homo sapiens to Homo neris, because since we were created we have been telling stories about our life and trying to explain stuff with stories. And I think the story of afterlife and what happens after death and death is only a story that we made out and placed. So we deal in a better way with our own mortality, and we just keep it out of the picture and stop freaking out. Like, it's not our job to think about it. We give it to you, dude. Do you exist though? We don't know. But I think of it that way.
No, but don't you think people that don't believe in an afterlife, life can be easier for them because they don't have to sort of work towards achieving a goal of finding themselves in a good place when they die. So if you don't believe in the afterlife, it's
I
like
was
kind of
happier when I was a believer, because that mental charge, it was taken away from me, and I gave it to someone that will deal with, like, I'ma just pray to you, believe in you, behave well, and then I'll be guaranteed my own immortality somehow, like my afterlife.
But that makes you responsible, like more responsible for your actions, right? Because you're like.
I think I'm quite an ethical person and good person, so I don't need like a master or a god that will tell me how I should be behaving with other people. I won't harm people. I don't need someone else to tell me that.
So your moral compass is not a religious one.
Yeah, it's not. But maybe it was like influenced by the religious one, since I was brought up.
Could be part
religious.
of your subconscious, the stuff we forget, but it's still in there that we talked about.
Yeah, maybe,
right?
yeah. So you are somehow reconciliated with your own mortality. سي كونه تكون متصالح مقابل الموت متاعك متاع come at me bro. No, I take it right now.
For mostly, yes. Yeah.
you don't. I personally have a sort of dilemma, which is I'm fully conscious of my mortality. I mean, my cousin passed away, my grandma, my grandparents, my cousins, everyone is dying.
Right.
But in front of it, I'm like, okay, I'ma die one day. But my narcissistic self gives me a sort of a hint. She's like inside, but we don't die though. She's like, I know that I die, but at the same time, I don't believe in it. I think I'm immortal.
No, I think nobody knows for a fact that they're not dying. Nobody is that stupid.
Yeah,
Everybody
because we
knows they're
never-
dying. But it's very easy to sort of ignore it and be distracted from that fact and not really think about it.
Yeah.
These are the distractions of life that sort of stop us from sitting down with our own thoughts, whether it's like working or being with friends or like alcohol or drugs, and these are all distractions, so you don't really sit down and think of the deep questions of this universe, you know.
I'm not really talking about distractions, but like being fully aware of it. Like I'm having a body right now in front of me, but I'm like, they die, I don't. Even though I know that I will die, but I'm like, no, I don't. But yes, I do. So I don't know, maybe because it's something that others experience. Like
Right.
it happens to others all the time, but when it happens to us, we don't have time to think about it. It just happens.
Yeah, usually you just go.
Yeah,
die.
exactly. So maybe that's why I exclude it from.
Right. No, but keep in mind that you're very young, and I'm kind of young. So
Yeah.
statistically, people our age don't die a lot. Like that.
Yeah,
Like
but
some of us do, but like statistically, it's a very small percentage. As you grow older, as you get into your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, maybe your 60s, and then it starts to sort of sink in. Like I'm not gonna cheat death for much longer, right?
Yeah.
So your age group has a lot to do with how you think about it.
Maybe I actually don't really feel at ease when I'm surrounded by a bunch of old people. Even though I hate kids, but I'm cooler with kids. I mean, maybe because I was there before and I know what is it. But old people, they are like, it's your own faith.
Yeah,
You look at
older
it.
people remind you of
Yeah.
your mortality
Yes.
by their mortality, because you know they're not going to be here for a long time, you know, right?
They don't really look like
So-
they will be here for
And
that
the
long.
more empathic you are as a human, the more you empathize with like people around you, and you feel whatever they're feeling, and the more you sort of, and I feel the same way. I get very comfortable with older people.
Actually, my own mortality is a sort of a daily push and inspiration to me to like literally do my best every day at having fun, doing whatever I love, saying I love you to people I love, and just being honest. Literally, since I made it seem that simple, like death, when you're dead and when you're experiencing death, you don't feel shit. You're done. You're over. So I care about it. Meanwhile, life is all about feelings and sensations. So when there is life, there isn't death, and when there is death, there isn't life. So I mix match it and care about it. Aslan.
Well, that's good. That's how you're supposed to live your life anyway.
Yeah.
The whole one day at a time thing, and it sounds like a cliche, but it works. It's a good way to live your
Yeah.
life.
Totally.
And the less you worry about the future, the more you live your present.
Baby, do you wanna share with me, like, your near-death experiences?
No.
Did you lost someone dear?
Yeah. Luckily, not a lot, but I think there's like one person that I lost that was close to me.
Do you wanna share?
Oh, he was my boss, my manager, but also we worked together for maybe a year and a half, and we became friends, even though he was maybe 15 years older than me. We traveled together, and we had a lot of good time together, and we worked on a lot of projects, like very we both took our work very personally, so there was like, we would stay up all night at the office, and then one day he left us. He was murdered. He got shot. And what do I say about it? It sucks. It sucked. It still sucks.
Yeah. I'm sorry about your loss, first of all.
Thank you.
But did you dealt with it as a believer and just went through it with your faith? Or did you lost some connection? We're like, oh, so unfair. He didn't get his chance to live a bit longer and he was a good person and all of that, you know?
No, it didn't have any disconnection with faith. Because whether you're religious or not, or whether you have faith or not, the reality of life is that people die, and some of them die younger than others. Some of them die too soon, but who's to say that that's not? I don't know, it was fate. No, it was sad. It's very easy to say something like, oh, like, just too soon, it's unfair, and it is unfair, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So I was asking if you wanna be sharing your near-death experiences or not.
Okay. Near-death experiences. Okay, so I've never been really sick. My near-death experiences are mostly related to guns and gunfire, because I come from a country where guns are very popular, and then they're used daily for stupid reasons, anyway. So there's been like 4 or 5 different times where I was stuck in the middle of a shootout where people were shooting at each other and I'm in the middle, right?
Oh.
Nobody was shooting at me personally. I wasn't involved in a war or anything. But so gunfire is scary, right? The sound of like gun being shot is scary.
Yes.
When you get involved in situations that I was getting involved in, you realize that gunshots are not scary. What's scary is the sound of a bullet. The sound the bullet makes when it's not hitting something, when it's like going right past you, because it makes like a very like special noise. It's not loud, but it means that this was almost gonna hit you, and then the next one, and everyone and their sister has an automatic handgun now.
Yeah.
So I've been in a few situations where I was stuck in crossfires, what you call it, and I've had bullets like flying around me and like landing near me, and so that's definitely scary, because it's very like bullets don't distinguish between people, right?
I mean,
and
I only was really close to bullets like twice. Once in a wedding in Algeria, and I was freaking out.
Right.
And the other time I was shooting at something, and I was freaking out.
Yeah.
But I was in control in both of those situations.
Yeah, because the first time people were shooting like up in the air, right? And they were not angry with each other. They were just shooting. Celebratory gunfire is what they call it.
It surprised me. I didn't know that they were going to do that.
Yeah, and it's louder than in the movies, right?
They were in the south of Algeria, so they
do that in a lot of countries in the North Africa.
But I mean, I was safe in both. It wasn't your situation at all.
No, I wasn't safe. So there's that. I think and it's very hard to like explain to people, because it's almost like being in war, and soldiers that come back from war say that. Like, I can try to explain it to you, but you had to be there, right? You had to be there to get it. So there's that. And when it happens, you don't think a lot. Like your basic instincts start working, and you're okay, I want to survive. How do I survive this? Okay, I'm gonna should I run? Should I stay here? Should I find some like cover? Is there like a big pile of concrete I can hide behind? Should I duck? Should I run? And it's suddenly your life becomes a game of like Call of Duty or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So there's two things I think going through my head. The first thing is that I have to try to survive. So I'm doing things to try to survive, right? Whether I'm ducking or hiding behind a car or hiding behind some cover or running away from the gunfire. And the second thing is like I could die within the next few seconds, right? Because the next bullet can hit you. And
or you can witness death, like.
Well, at that point, that wouldn't be so horrible because I'm more afraid about myself,
Totally,
right?
yes.
And in some of these situations, I had like very close friends with me, and some of these situations I was alone. So there's that. The first thing is that you're trying to save your life, and the second part of it is that you go like, there's a possibility that I cannot save my life, and so I might die in the next few seconds or in the next minute. And then that's when you're reminded of your mortality that we were talking about, and so your religious side kicks in, and you're like you say a quick prayer as you're going through it.
I mean, like the first time this happened, when it happened again, did you experience it as intensively as the first time, or were you more nihilistic about it?
It doesn't get easier, no.
Okay.
You get more experienced in the practicality of it. Like you're a little bit calmer, so you react better, but it doesn't get easier, right? So yeah.
Okay. But did that had like psychological repercussions on you, on your vision of life?
And there is something I should mention, is that once it's over and you're alive and it's over, you feel more alive than ever. It has an intoxicating like adrenaline rush. So when it happens to you a few times and then you travel to a totally different country that's very safe and where that kind of thing never happens, you sort of almost miss it.
Okay.
Yeah, because you felt more alive than you ever did in your life.
True.
And it has this, as stupid as this, has this cool aspect to it. And then you have these incredible stories to tell, right? Like you think you're living, you didn't have to run for your life and then survive getting shot and then, So it has that adrenaline rush that I wouldn't jump out of an airplane or like go bungee.
That would be safer, dude.
That would be safer, but that kind of stuff you do by choice, right? So.
But I mean, now you have the lucid choice to go there again and go out and buy your pizza and packet of cigarette, even though there's like the sound of shotguns somewhere, and it doesn't bother you.
Where I come from, it doesn't bother me because, like I said, the sound of gunfire, you get used to it. It doesn't bother me. The sound of a bullet flying past you, that's what bothers you.
Oh.
And so I think now I wouldn't go and jump in front of a gun just for the fun of it, obviously. But if I had to go work in the middle of a war, I think I wouldn't mind. I would take that opportunity and go there and do it.
Wow. But I mean, I want to understand why you got hooked on it, except the point that you said that you feel alive, really alive.
It's an adrenaline rush.
Okay.
It's like journalism, for example. Look at all the foreign journalists that voluntarily go into like battlefields to cover wars, right?
They are severely depressed, I think.
No, really.
I'm kidding.
Did you meet anyone that did that before?
No.
I met a few of them, and they're full of life, and they're very like lively people, and very happy and active.
Why would you put yourself in such dangerous experiences, except for the adrenaline rush? But for me, it doesn't sell it. Like, I'll get my adrenaline rush out of something else.
Well, maybe these are people that are really at peace with their mortality.
Maybe, but I mean, if I'm gonna be dying, it's not in another country with a foreigner shooting me and someone that I don't know. It's not even a cause I believe in. Like, maybe if it's in, I don't know. It doesn't make much sense to me to go somewhere and be like, sign me up, I might die today. Like, no.
Yeah, but you didn't go through it before. It's
won't.
like a drug. It's like
you fall into it. You don't pick it.
Yeah. Nobody in a safe environment.
Like,
right, but I'm pretty sure that the first time they do it, they do it just try to achieve some career progress or something. But the second, third, fourth time they do it looking for that rush. They do it looking for these stories. They do it to get those free drinks at a bar because they have these stories.
Heroes.
They're heroes. Yeah.
Do you get the free drinks?
I don't drink.
Do you?
I'm doing a quotation marks, like this is a legal disclaimer. Mocha does not drink or participate in any...
Drinking is severely dangerous and might harm you and your surroundings. Please don't drink.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna cut this. So, I
think that's gonna be your next sponsor.
Yeah.
Hey.
So, thank you, Mocha.
Of course, it's been a pleasure. I didn't think I would enjoy it, but it's been fun.
Great. So...
anything for Maftoul. I don't have
to...
You're not going to have merchandising, right? I know, you told me the other day, I think.
We might.
It would be funny if you have like merchandising and then you have these t-shirts with like Maftoul on them.
Yes.
And then you have actual Maftouls and like, oh, support Maftoul by putting this up your butt.
I'm really excited for Maftoul earrings. I want to wear them. Like,
are they gonna look like a Maftoul?
Yeah, 2 suppositories hanging on your ears. That would be cool as fuck.
Very cool. I would definitely go speak to that girl at a bar. Oh, at a cafe. I'm sorry, I don't drink.
Donc, thanks again.
Thank you, and I hope you feel better. And listeners, we're sorry for her disgusting noises. She's sick. She'll be better.
Donc, c'était l'épisode 2. J'espère que vous vous êtes amusés. سمعتوا الconversation اللي صارت ما بيني أنا ونوتر invité. Et ما عندي كان نقول لكم كان à très bientôt. Et bye.